Her father, my friend, subsequently, right then and there, had a heart attack and died on the same day that they were in my office. Savanah suffered 2 significant losses: a loss of a friend, a loss of a husband, and a loss of a father in a 4-day time period.
On August 30th, 2024, James Shirah married Savanah Collier in Flint, Michigan. What should have been a celebration ended in a homicide investigation before the night was over.
Savanah suffered 2 significant losses: a loss of a friend, a loss of a husband, and a loss of a father in a 4-day time period.
After the wedding, an argument broke out involving members of the wedding party. Alcohol played a major role in the confrontation.
Somebody passed away here, and it was a friend of hers, and all the people involved were all good friends for a long period of time.
Among those present was 29-year-old Terry Lewis Taylor Jr., Shirah's close friend and best man.
You would have ever been the one to do this. Crazy part is that everyone got to tell their side of the story but Terry, and that's not fair. I will forever carry on his name, and so will his kids. We will forever listen to his music.
As tensions escalated, Shirah got into his SUV and drove away from the scene.
Man who becomes the victim allegedly pushes his girlfriend, and perhaps he'd been drinking at the wedding, and the groom intercedes in that dispute.
That detail became one of the most important facts in the entire case, because it showed that he physically removed himself from the confrontation.
Mr. Shirah's probably going to get out sometime. He's a young kid, whatever his guidelines are, he's going to get out. Mr. Taylor's kids are grow up without a father. They grow up with a sister, brother, sister, uncle, parent.
Instead, prosecutors said he made a deliberate decision to turn around and return.
Thank you. Mr. Ross?
There's no family. They all spoke, as Mr. Shirah said this a couple weeks ago. I will just simply say this, and I understand Ms. Shirah lost a lot.
According to investigators, Shirah drove back toward the area where the argument had taken place and intentionally struck Taylor with his SUV. The impact killed him.
Did Ms. Shirah kill him? No, she didn't. It was her husband. We dealt with that. But she did nothing to help.
The victim was the groom's best man. Earlier that same day, he had stood beside Shirah during the wedding ceremony, and just hours later, he was dead.
She knew that Nikki was there based on the testimony we had, that she had no phone. The phone was broke. She saw her husband run him over, high rate of speed, dying on the street. She got in the car, had a phone, didn't bother calling 911. Didn't do anything else.
As investigators reconstructed the timeline, the focus centered on the short period between Shirah leaving and returning.
I just want that out there for that. So we're not objecting to the recommendation. But that's what we have to do. Court to follow the recommendation.
Judge, there's only one thing I need to correct with Mr. Ross's statement. She did not see.
Prosecutors argued that this was not a spontaneous act committed in the middle of a heated confrontation.
The actions of Mr. Shirah were not your fault. They have, however, become your problem.
They pointed to the fact that Shirah had already driven away before deciding to come back. The case quickly moved from a fatal crash investigation to a murder prosecution. If you're enjoying the breakdown so far, make sure to subscribe for more shocking courtroom cases.
Incidents like this tend to cause people to take sides, and you may be feeling the brunt of that from family and or former friends. Hopefully, when you get some distance from this, things will change.
Evidence gathered by investigators supported the claim that the vehicle was used intentionally. Prosecutors argued that the SUV became the murder weapon and that Taylor was deliberately targeted.
The court reviewed the CCTV footage of the incident extensively, and the court was more than convinced that a murder took place on that night and was comfortable with the sentence associated with that.
As the criminal proceedings continued, attention turned toward Shirah's behavior inside the courtroom.
619 days. Well, I'm sure all of you know who I am. Never did I have to think that I would have to stand up here to try to pull the strength to do this.
During multiple hearings, family members noted that he often appeared expressionless.
I can understand the actions that you took. They were still in violation of law.
The victim's family continued attending hearings as prosecutors pursued second-degree murder charges. The central argument remained unchanged.
I don't know what that changed my life for. I wish it would have never happened. I miss them all.
Shirah had left the scene, had an opportunity to avoid further conflict, and then returned before Taylor was struck and killed.
That said, again, you are the least common denominator with respect to any intentional unlawful action, and I believe that the recommendation fits that.
That sequence of events became one of the strongest facts supporting the prosecution's case.
For the rest of his life. And it hasn't but been one easy day since then. And it's not going to get any easier.
Rather than proceed to a full trial, Shirah ultimately entered a no-contest plea to second-degree murder in April 2026.
A year and a half ago, even more, she's been on probation for a year and a half, being at bond, albeit, but she's done the steps that probation would be asking her to do on her own during this period of time.
The plea avoided a jury trial, but secured a conviction. It meant the court could move directly to sentencing while treating the criminal responsibility as established.
So we'd ask that you put her on the height of status for a period of 1 year on probation. Let her get through us and let this young lady.
With the conviction in place, attention shifted to the punishment.
Give him a fair sentence. That's what he's asking for. He's admitted responsibility, accepted responsibility, but as far as his sentence, make it a just and fair sentence.
Just before hearing his sentence, Shirah broke down emotionally in court.
This one here is by far something other than straight up murder. This one, you have.
He told the judge that he would spend the rest of his life expressing apologies and remorse for what happened. He stated that he would always regret his actions.
Did Ms. Shirah kill him? No, she didn't. It was her husband. We dealt with that. But she did nothing to help.
The judge ultimately imposed a sentence of 30 to 45 years in prison for second-degree murder.
I hope you can move forward. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
His wife, Savanah Collier, also faced criminal consequences connected to the events that followed the killing. Prosecutors charged her as an accessory after the fact, and she later pleaded guilty.
Credit for 618 days on all counts to be run concurrent.
The case stands out because of how quickly everything changed and how James Shirah ended up here, crying.
Court is in receipt of the signed notice of appellate rights. Counsel, anything further?
Nothing else on fumes, I think.
Judge, a couple of corrections on the
That's the only thing left to do, at last.